Hello everyone and welcome to the October Craft Collabs Hop. We are so excited that we are partnering with Colorful Life Designs to help debut their holiday stencil collection. There is a giveaway, so please stay tuned for my secret word so that you can leave it in the comments. Colorful Life Designs has been super generous and they are giving away 10 $15 gift certificates to their store. And if you go out to colorfullifedesigns.com and do their survey, anyone can get a $5 credit. So I wanted to show you the stencils that I received. Two of these I picked out, and then the third one was a surprise. So this is one that I picked out. This is called Damask, and I went ahead and did little sample for you. This one, I really love it because not only is it great for the holidays, but do it in any color, and you could use it for weddings, you could use it for birthdays. It's just a great all occasion design. So I love that on the bottom of each of these, it does say exactly what the stencil is, and it has their information here so you know exactly where you got the stencil from. And I love the quality of the stencil too. So that's the first one. The second one, this was a surprise one that I received. This is called Faded Poinsettia, and this is what it looks like. And it's really just kind of this cool, blown up version of a poinsettia. I really think it's super interesting. It'll make awesome abstract card designs, really great backgrounds. This would be really great on a scrapbook page for the holidays. It's just really neat. I also am excited to try this one in a reverse style where I ink up the stencil and then smush it to create some really cool looking patterns. So be on the lookout for these in the future. I'll be using them in different projects as we go through the next couple of months. The one that I'm going to be using today though is called Big Swirl, and I just absolutely loved that this reminded me of those big holiday peppermints, and I decided to go totally retro with this and pull in one of my favorite new stamp sets. This one is called Christmas Memories, and it's from Photo Play. I've used it once or twice already, and I just love the retro feel of it, and we're going to have a lot of fun putting this together. To shorten up my project today, I thought that I would just focus on the background and the coloring of the ornaments I have already done, so that way we can just kind of get through this and you can get to all of the other hoppers that I'm so excited to see what they've done and to share all of that with you. So I am using Distress Oxide Festive Berries, and I'm going to do a direct to stencil, not direct to paper, style with the stencils. So I'm just going to take this Distress Oxide. This is a super simple way to use stencils. I'm not even going to be doing any color blending or anything. I just want to get some ink on my stencil. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull in a second sheet here. So I have a piece of just plain Nina Solar White. It's not even a watercolor or anything like that. I'm not going to get this too wet, but I'm going to get it just wet enough that it will move on here, and we'll get rid of some of those lines. And I'm going to pick up the stencil and just drop it right on this paper. And then I'm just going to very carefully smush it down, trying to keep these really nice crisp lines in between. So you see how I'm just kind of using my fingernail to help this smush down to get really good ink contact, but I'm also going to get that nice kind of distressed look as well. So now that I have that all smushed down onto the cardstock, I can just go ahead and lift this up. And I have this beautiful background pattern. So I just need to let this dry for a minute, and then when I come back I will have this cut down to the proper size. So this is a square card. It's a 5 by 5, so I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then we can go ahead with some distressing and stamping and assembly. Alright, I am back with my dried panel, and I'm ready to go ahead and do some stamping and some distressing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my stamp positioner, and I have the sentiment. It says, "Wishing you a joyful season," and that is from the same Christmas Memory stamp set. So let me just get some magnets in place here just to help keep the cardstock down and in place. There we go. And I'm going to use some VersaFine Clair in Nocturne to get the cinnamon in place. And, you know, I should tell you, I love the way that this looks like peppermint. And if you're wondering what my secret word might be, I think it should be peppermint. So my secret word is peppermint, and as I'm stamping this up here, go ahead and leave a comment. Make sure that you use the word peppermint in your comments. You can even just say something like, I heard your secret word was peppermint, or I love peppermint too, or something along those lines, or ew, peppermint is so gross. Whatever you think about peppermint, go ahead and throw it in the comments, and then I'll know that you were listening along and you caught my secret word. All right, so I've got that stamped up. I'm going to add in some brushed pewter Distress Spray Stain to help pull this all together. And you'll notice that in the sample, I have some silver accents as well. And basically all I did is I took the spray stain and I put it on a little palette, and I used a brush to add in all of these little details. I'm using the same ink, and it really works out well. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You can use this for painting, or you can use it for spritzing, or you can use it for spattering. This stuff really works great for a lot of different things. So I just need a minute to let this dry, and then we can go for assembly and move on to the rest of the hop. All right, this panel is all dry now, so let's go for some assembly, shall we? I am going to start by adding this awesome red mirror stock to a card base, and this is in Opera Red. It's by Tonic, and I loved that this color really just ended up matching the Festive Berries Distress Oxide. It's not a deep true red. It's got a nice kind of pale color to it. It worked really well with the Festive Berries, so I'm just going to pop it on my card base here. And sometimes I worry about using liquid glue with mirrored cardstock because sometimes your little swizzles and stuff will show through, but so much of this is going to get covered that I'm not concerned about it at all. Otherwise, I would use like the scrapbook.com double-sided adhesive. That is a really great choice if you're trying to avoid getting any kind of squiggle lines, which I can see now in the card, and I'm not sure if you will be able to see that. Let me see. You can kind of see it. There's just these squiggles in here, and that's from this going back and forth. But like I said, it's going to get covered, so I'm not concerned about it. So I can go top down, or I can open from the side. I think my original I did top down, so I will stick with that. I'm going to go top down with that. And I am going to use a piece of fun foam along with my project. And one side I have some double-sided adhesive from scrapbook.com. And on this side I'm just going to use regular adhesive. I could have done both. I could have done the sticky adhesive on both sides if I wanted to. But it sticks perfectly fine both ways. The reason why I'm using the scrapbook.com adhesive on the back side is because sometimes it takes things a little longer to stick to the metallic foils. So this way I can use this adhesive sheets, and it's going to stick right away. I know it's not going to slip around. And I just used some scrap pieces that I had left over from some 8.5 by 11 sheets. I could just pop all of those on here. And I have a little piece left over on the corner here. There we go. And then I can stick this guy on. So you have to remember, if you're going to use an adhesive sheet like that, once it's stuck, it is stuck forever. You are never moving it. It's never coming off. All right, so now we can go with some embellishment. And like I said, I already have all these cutie pies all colored up. I just did some basic Copic coloring Just a little bit of blending on some of these. Nothing too serious, just enough to give it some interest, to really make that mid-century modern color shine. So, you know, mid-century modern had a lot of funky color combinations, so using like this green along with a more pale shade of red is kind of typical of the style. Throw in some bright yellows, and of course pinks. Pinks and greens were very popular color combinations, or pinks and oranges. Just pink in general, I think, was a big color during that time period. So I'll pop these guys on. And then the ornament in the center, I'm going to use this fun little dude here. This is a mini wobble from Hampton Arts. And he's going to make this whole little guy wobble back and forth. And I don't think it really matters which direction you put the wobble. Like, this is a heavier piece of plastic and this is a lighter piece. So I'm just going to pop him right on the back here. Like so. See, now he's going to wobble. And then I'll peel off the backing on this side and pop him in place. So the great thing about these wobbles is that when you send it, it will stay flat. You can see how flat that's going to get, so it will go through the mail with no problem. But then when your recipient gets it, it'll pop out, and then they'll have this fun little wobbly action, which is kind of cool. So I hope you enjoyed my card. This is, of course, the beginning of the hop, so please do hop on to our next creator. I hope you enjoy everything that she has to share with you and all of the fun things that she does with these awesome colorful life design stencils. Don't forget, my secret word is peppermint, so use it down in the comments to be entered into the giveaway, and the more you enter, the more chances you have to win. So be sure to stop at every stop and leave a comment. You have until October 22nd to enter, so don't think that you have to get through the whole hop today. You've got a few days to get through all of the outstanding projects that we have to share. I hope you have an inspiring day, and until next time, happy crafting.